This is the 2021 Toyota Fortuner 4x2G Automatic. It's the entry-level automatic variant of the Toyota Fortuner, one of the most best-selling cars in the Philippines today. How's it going, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today we'll be taking a look at the 2021 Toyota Fortuner 4x2G. Boy, that's a mouthful. I'm sure you'll be surprised about what we're going to show you today. Let's start off with the front fascia of the exterior of the Toyota Fortuner. I'll be calling it a Fortuner from now on because 4x2G is definitely a mouthful. First of all, you got this huge, imposing, interesting front grille right here that flanks this giant Toyota badge right here. So you're proudly wearing a Toyota badge when you drive a Fortuner. And take a look at this. You got this bi-beam technology LED headlamps from Toyota. You know you got a good thing going if you got LED headlamps on an entry-level SUV. The only weak part would have to be these thin fog lamps at the bottom right here. But again, because of these headlamps, shouldn't be any problems right here. Now you got these daytime running lamps as well, enclosed in the housing for the edge projector headlamps. But of course, this overall look, including these fake vents in the front, of course they house these parking sensors. You don't have any front skid plates, but again, who needs front skid plates if you got this huge imposing grille from the Fortuner going down the road, right? Heading over to the side profile of the Toyota Fortuner, you're greeted with these slick 17-inch mags that are two-toned and machined, giving them that modern but yet badass look. You also have these all-terrain tires which come out of the box and I think is a real great value, especially for an entry-level SUV. The best part about an entry-level SUV is that you don't see any bits of chrome at the side, and for me that definitely is a godsend. You do have these really chunky step boards for you to help you get into this, and of course you lack the roof rails. You don't have any roof rails on the entry level, but if you ask your sales guy nicely, they might probably add that in. You got turn signals on your side mirrors. Everything that you need on a car is definitely right here. And what do you think of this huge kink on the D-pillar? I mean, when the Fortuner first came out, a lot of people were iffy about this, but now that a lot of the other models are also having blacked out and floating roof lines, I think the Toyota Fortuner actually grows on you, especially with it creating some sort of character and this added muscle for the rear fender. The overall look of the Toyota Fortuner is definitely something to be reckoned with. So heading over to the rear of the Toyota Fortuner, you're greeted with these amazing LED strips on the tail lamps, which again, on an entry-level model is definitely fantastic. You lack that chrome trim at the back here, which I think is definitely amazing. You know, I'd really have a hard time trying to figure out those chrome trims, and with this one you get this brushed aluminum look, and I think it really fits the look very well. You don't have any rear skid plates or any diffusers or whatnot. You do have access to the spare tire right there. You got this huge rear spoiler on the back that contains the third brake lamp, and you know, this definitely gives me a great SUV vibe without being too garish. Let's look at the inside while we're at the rear. Inside, you're greeted with a huge cargo space if you have the third row seats folded up. If you have the third row seats folded up, you have this huge cargo space. Plus, you can fold those seats down for even more space. But, you know, most people buy Fortuners for their 7 seats. So let's give out those 7 seats. There you go. Even with the third row seats folded up, you still have enough room for any of your bags, any of your cargo. Just not that long of a trip, but at least you get to bring 2 more people in the back, as long as their legs aren't that long, and they'll feel a little bit more comfortable in the back thanks to those third row aircon vents. But yeah, it's a good place to be in if you are not 5'10" and a half and enough room for your baggage and your cargo. All right, so interior, inside the Toyota Fortuner, you've got, well, this is the entry level, all right? So don't get your hopes up too much. It does have some soft touch materials on the center console here, and of course on the door panels, but most of it is actually just hard plastics. Hard plastics everywhere, black and plastic, and especially this thing in the middle, in here, the shifter area, shifter column, you've got this horrible piano black. I mean, a lot of people sure love that piano black thing, but for someone who's got sticky fingers, and oily hands, that thing is a nightmare to clean. Looks good though, but just look at it funny, it'll start having dust. Trust me on that. Microfiber cloth will be your best friend every time you drive this. It's got a 7-inch touchscreen right here, and thankfully Toyota has started to bring us smartphone integration. Now, I wasn't able to test Apple CarPlay. Maybe someone there can sponsor us with a new iPhone probably, and then we can probably test out that Apple CarPlay thing. But right now, I tested out my Android and it was able to play it smoothly. No worries about that. I could go ahead and integrate my smartphone, use its apps. No YouTube though, remember, that's against the law. So you get to go ahead with your navigation apps and everything. You can even use voice command, no problems. Oh, by the way, it's got Bluetooth. Does that matter nowadays? I mean, of course it's got Bluetooth. Bluetooth is definitely necessary with these modern cars. Alright, so a few quirks that I've found inside, surprising quirks actually, is this very useful bottle holder next to the air conditioning. Speaking of air conditioning, this one has manual air conditioning, no automatics here. All you gotta do is set the temperature yourself, and I find that to my liking actually. I don't like the computer setting the temperature for me. I know when I feel hot, so I'll just set it up myself. Alright. So underneath the hood, you got a 2.4 liter variable nozzle turbo diesel engine that makes 147 horsepower, and get this, 400 newton meters of torque. With 400 newton meters of torque, what you gonna do with all that power? Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Drive a Fortuner, that's what. So if you get all that power under that hood, I remember a couple of years ago, that number was definitely unheard of when it comes to these types of cars, but now you've got it. 147 horsepower plus that monstrous 400 newton meters of torque. So that engine is being driven by a 6-speed automatic transmission with sequential shifting. So what that means is that you can definitely go ahead and set it to sport mode right here. Sport mode, there we go. So you can choose to row your own gears if you want. If you feel a bit sporty and speed up, there you go. The thing is, especially with automatic transmissions, I'd rather set it to drive, because that's why it's there. I actually trust the Toyota's algorithm when it comes to shifting. It's also got gated shifters right here, so you definitely feel every shift right there. There's no fear of having to miss-shift, as they call it. All right, now steering. Steering is definitely on the heavy side, all right? It's definitely heavy, but not definitely unusable, I'd say. I'd say it's responsive, all right? It gives you a sporty feel. It doesn't feel dead in the middle, you see. While I'm driving the highway here, just a little bit of turn there gives you a little response. So it's not dead in the middle, unlike other electronic power steering systems. So, yep, steering on the Fortuner gives you enough confidence for you to get away with a little bit more spirited driving. Now, the suspension rides on front independent double wishbone suspensions. I remember like a decade ago, whenever people talk about independent suspension, they say, you gotta have the double wishbone, but yeah, Toyota gave that double wishbone suspension up front, and I know that this is a truck-based SUV. It's based on the Hilux pickup truck, but it's got coil springs in the back. So if you are interested in a little bit more spirited driving, canyon carving, or just not giving your passengers a hard time and not having to fill in some sacks of rice, yep, this is the vehicle to get. Actually feels quiet inside. It doesn't feel like a truck at all. Is this still a truck-based SUV? What do you think? Leave us a comment in the comment section down below. Now, driving in the Fortuner, thanks to that engine, oh wow, you definitely have all the power you need on tap. And it's fairly fuel efficient as well. We did a little comparison with the Fortuner, this Fortuner actually, with the Toyota Corolla Cross, which is a hybrid. Now, on highway runs, we were able to pull 18.1 or 18 kilometers per liter on the hybrid, which is a gas hybrid, by the way. But on the Fortuner, the same type of road, same type of fuel. Oh no, not the same type of fuel. This is a diesel. So on the same type of roads, we were able to get this, 15 kilometers per liter. Now that's from a SUV, a big hulking SUV with 147 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque to pull, and it has more weight. So if you think about it, and of course diesel costs less in this country. So if you think about it, if you're thinking about, you know, cost effectiveness, fuel consumption, saving on fuel, I think the Fortuner is not a bad decision if you want to pick this. So no, this definitely works for fuel misers. And the drive is smooth, all right? Like I said, it has independent suspensions all around. So it's not floaty, it's not boat-like. It's planted, all right? So it's definitely planted. It gives you confidence with your drive. That's the key word actually with driving a Fortuner. Confidence, power, reliability. So what more are you looking for actually? You would understand why this is the best-selling SUV, why this is one of the best-selling cars in the Philippines, because it has everything you need. Speaking of everything you need, don't worry about getting the entry-level Fortuner. I know this is the entry-level 4x2G. Usually the G used to be the top of the line trim, but now they got the V. They've got the LTD Legender. What a Legender. Can't wait to try that out. But I don't feel like missing out at all. It's got everything you need inside. The power is there. And people still look up to you. I mean, you're still driving a nice SUV. It's still something that is better than most cars on the road. So if you're thinking that you're missing out and that you have the same car as many other people out there, no, all right? Once you drive the Toyota Fortuner, you will know that you're driving a Fortuner and you're buying into Toyota's renowned reliability. You know, you got that bulletproof engine, that after-sales service, the parts, everything. So yeah, don't worry about missing out because the Fortuner has everything that you want in an SUV. All right, pricing. So the Fortuner starts, this Fortuner, the 4x2G automatic, starts at 1,723,000 pesos as we're filming this. Now, of course, those prices change every day, and of course you have special discounts. So head on over to Zigwheels.Ph, click on the link below on the description box. I've got everything that you want to know about this SUV when in terms of pricing, and just make sure to tell them that we sent you, so that you can make sure that you can get the best price out of the Fortuner. So there you have it, folks, the 2021 Toyota Fortuner 4x2G automatic. Do I feel a little left out without having to review the top-of-the-line Toyota Fortuner? I don't think so. I think it's in that Goldilocks range where everyone's looking for that perfect balance of price, features, and convenience. What do you think? Leave us a comment in the comment section down below, and while you're at it, like this video and make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so that you're alerted whenever we upload a new video. It's nice to have you here. Once again, it's Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph, and I'll see you guys next time.